So we're here with Melissa at 101 Fitness. Thanks for having us here to have a look around.
Thank you.
So how long have you been in this location?
So we've been here 7 years, coming up this May. So yeah, very excited to celebrate our 70th birthday. Going from there, yeah.
Okay, so what got you into doing all this anyway?
So,
were you in the fitness industry originally, or you?
No, I wasn't. I'm actually a trained architect, interior architect, and I was involved when I was studying as a student in a very big car accident in which I broke my back, and a couple of months later someone drove into me again and I broke my back again. So I actually ended up with a really severe back injury and gone into the workforce and just realized that living with back pain and living with pain in my whole body just wasn't what I wanted to do. And so I, as you do, sort of quit my job and decided that I was going to have a look into finding the answer to my back pain. And sitting in a cafe one morning, I was paging through a magazine, and I, as you do, and I think it was amazing, I found this answer right in front of me. There was a big ad saying the answer to your back pain, and it was actually a fitness facility. And I thought, oh, isn't that interesting that fitness can lead to the answer to my back pain? So I started looking into that straight away, was very excited, went home that night, spoke to my husband about it. I actually started training at the facility as soon as I could, and within a few months I really started feeling the difference. In the mornings for me to get out of bed would have been really hard. My husband used to bring me a bean bag or a little heat pack, and I would slowly sort of work my way out of bed. And then one morning I just literally got out of bed, went to the dressing room, and my husband was like, whoa, what's happening? I was like, oh, I just got out of bed. I didn't even realize. And just the simple things in life that I used to do, going to the bank, standing in a queue, just walking, things that seemed really obvious for most people, that caused me a lot of pain. I could just start doing those things again. I was able to wear high heel shoes again. I could wear my little ballet flats. So it really changed my life significantly in terms of strengthening. But I never thought that back pain related to strengthening would be the answer. So I decided to change careers and became a personal trainer. So I studied while flying, and I opened up this facility 7 years ago here in Newmarket, with the intentions of bringing this revolutionary system to New Zealand, as there wasn't anything like it at the time.
Yeah, there's I've seen this in Australia and in a few other countries.
Yeah, so there was a couple of facilities in Australia when we opened up. There was a few in Denmark. It was all originated in Denmark. But the whole system behind what we do, the slow movement, high intensity resistance training, is actually, there's about 30 years of research behind it. And Arthur Jones was one of the leading, sort of people behind this whole system, where it's all about really focusing on slow controlled movement and really just doing muscle engagement and not letting the other parts of your body do the work. So you don't actually have the joints working. So I always say, when you do a bicep curl, you're doing it fast. The problem is your joints guiding the movement and doing the work, your momentum's doing the work, and your muscles there, it's helping, but it's not actually doing all the work because it's got these other factors helping it. But as soon as you slow something down 8 to 12 seconds, you're actually just letting the muscle work, and the joint is merely guiding the movement, which is what we want to do. So you're actually protecting the joints, you're protecting everything around it, and the muscle's going, heck, what's going on here? I need to actually strengthen up, because muscles, the only way they grow is with challenge, and if they don't get the right challenge, they will just keep going where they are, or they'll just keep staying where they are. So I think that's what really led to my body becoming so much stronger, and my pain was significantly reduced because of that.
Great. You said you kind of did some education at the beginning.
Yeah.
What were you doing for the education? Personal training?
Yes, so I did it through the UK. I did it because I had to do it internationally, because I was traveling between. We were still living in the Middle East when I opened the business in Auckland. So I traveled to Auckland every 3 weeks. So I came to start it up. So I was just doing it correspondence. So I did it through the Open UK. I did a diploma in fitness, nutrition and exercise. So I felt like that was just a really good base. Yeah. But I also did an immense amount of self-study on the product itself. And I was also guided with the facility in Abu Dhabi, which I recognized myself with. At that stage, I got a lot of mentoring through the.
Did they provide education as well, or was it more just mentoring?
Yeah, a lot of mentoring. Okay. Yeah.
Do they have anything now set up in place for education themselves?
No, we've actually developed our own education system, in which we take all of our staff through as a 10-week course that we believe that they should all know or have the thing about. But the system is a pretty simple system as to how to apply it. It's just the knowledge behind it, and having, knowing that you want to help people, and actually knowing how the body works in order to get to the right end of it. Yeah.
So that kind of brings us to the business systems as well,
Yes.
then, because obviously you've got that system in there for the training and
Yes.
and the assessment process, whatever you're doing there. So
Yeah.
which we'll talk about a little bit later on when we do a bit of a tour.
Yeah.
But with the business side of things, when you started out, what kind of, I guess, marketing did you do initially to get clientele? And I guess that's the toughest part, right?
That was the toughest part. I guess my story was quite significant, because I really believe that it was a personal testimony that I did change my life, and I did it in 20 minutes once a week, and that's what I had. I only had 20 minutes at that stage working the amount of hours I did.
Still,
yeah. So just being able to commit 20 minutes once a week and getting the results I did within 10 to 14 weeks was just, I think, quite a significant thing for a lot of people to hear, especially in the time poor community that we are sort of raised in and living in at the moment. But also the rehabilitation side, with so many people living with back pain now and not really knowing why.
Mm-hmm.
So in the beginning, I got a lot of people coming in through back pain, but then they started referring their friends, because all of a sudden they noticed they had biceps and they had core muscles and they had everything, because we do a total body workout. We don't just focus on the lower back. But as it all just, so word of mouth was quite big for us in the beginning. I did a lot of press releasing. Like I literally phoned every single magazine.
This is going back 7 years, so...
Yeah. So that was quite... So magazines were still quite big at that stage.
Exactly.
Because so much has changed now, the online world. I mean, we haven't quite done as much online then as what we would have now. Yes, we had a blog, we had a website and things like that, but I guess for us it was just getting people in here to come and try it. So we had a lot of editors and a lot of reporters come and try out the product.
I did find in New Zealand too, with the industry, I left 15 years ago, so I haven't been back for 15 years.
Yeah.
And I did kind of hear from talking to people that it took a while for that whole internet scene to take off here, as much as what we've seen overseas, especially in the United States, where I lived for quite some time.
I think so too.
The media, multimedia, the whole social media, all that kind of, what they call the Web 2.0, really took off, probably 8 to 10 years ago, where here in New Zealand it's kind of more just probably even the past 4 or 5 years.
I think it is really just as you said, the latter, more the last 4 years that's been quite significant, that we actually have a very big online presence. But still, focusing on just getting stories out there. And I think it's the success stories, and it's the stories that make me tick and make me smile. Because when I go home after a hard day of work, you realize that you are actually helping people and changing people's lives. At the end of the day, that's more satisfying than, the potential income that we could get from the business. I think for me, it's always been just really that I've done this because I needed to show people what I was able to achieve with it, and able to so that's really been my passion in growing and just sustaining the business, especially through quite a hard financial time in New Zealand as well, because we were very clever to open in the middle of the recession.
Which is sometimes the best time to open.
Well, apparently now in hindsight, we sort of look back and we're like, what if we could make it then, sort of...
Exactly. It kind of tells you whether the business is viable or not.
Yeah. So... just like every other business, we made a huge amount of mistakes when we opened up, and we would have probably done it a little bit different here and there now looking back. But in saying that, we're very happy with where we are now and the way that we are, achieving things. It's definitely a bit harder when you're a mum. I've become a mum in the recent 2 years.
Are you ready to announce it?
Oh my goodness, I'm ready to announce it. I've just found pregnant with my second baby now, 24 weeks. They did tell me I wouldn't be able to have babies because of my back problems. So really excited to be able to...
This is your second now.
I know, so I'm able to have a second baby. So really excited about that.
Great. So going back to kind of, you said you made some mistakes when you opened the place. So let's kind of expose some of those mistakes that you made, so hopefully some other people might learn from it.
Exactly.
What do you think your first kind of the 2 biggest mistakes you kind of made when you opened?
Well, I guess the biggest thing we did is we sold a system, and we bought 2 pieces. We bought these expensive equipment. So these are all medical grade medics equipment that we've acquired for the business. We bought 2 sets of those to start with. We acquired this whole villa in terms of space. So I think the biggest mistakes we did in the beginning was actually committing in terms of space. So we had a very high rent to pay and 2 rooms to fill, and we opened the business with not one client intact. So for us, I think it would have been rather starting with one set of equipment, maybe a smaller lease, and then growing up towards that. Which we've now done. We've actually reduced our rent with splitting the building into 2 and actually getting a lovely beautician upstairs, which is definitely helping, because it's just helping with that rental cost and actually making the business a little bit more viable.
And maybe bringing more traffic in anyway.
Absolutely. Interesting enough, we've put the big sign on the wall, which we never used to have that, and you're actually getting a lot more walk-ins and actually people that go, that do, as you said, create traffic and does that. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, what we see on the street too is becoming much more kind of busy in this area, and there's a lot of facilities on the street alone.
I know, you tell me.
And there's another one opening up apparently
somewhere.
But, I mean, I think that's a positive thing too in some ways, because it kind of brings people into the area, and people have different needs, different purposes. So, if one model is not going to fit another model,
exactly.
So they go across the road to CrossFit, that's not going to suit them because they do suffer from back pain. They're going to see you guys come and visit and see what you guys do. So it's beneficial. So how long do you think it took you to kind of fill out the space as far as with clientele? How long did it take you to get the number of clientele you needed to sustain the business?
Probably about a year and a half, to be honest. Yeah, and then I think the biggest challenge, and I think any gym owner would say this to you, is the maintenance of the actual clients. And we probably didn't have the right systems in place when we started to actually look after our current clients. We had lots of systems to getting new clients. But we then soon realized that we actually need to, it's so much easier if you've actually got old clients coming back, or actually looking after the people that you have got. So we did a lot more investing in terms of our actual current clients, and actually making sure that we're maintaining them and helping, making sure we're adding progress reviews and actually having, regular catch-ups with them. Because, some of your clients come at 6 a.m. in the morning and some at 8 o'clock at night. I wasn't always seeing all my clients, or actually not seeing because we had different trainers doing it. And I think just keeping the systems in place so that all of the clients felt like they had a little bit of a touch point with me, or with with the manager at least, just to feel like they were looked after and actually getting regular, exactly, because we're such a small facility that I would know my clients all by name, and I would know their kids' names, and I would know that they're on holiday for the next 2 weeks. I'd know they went to Fiji, and it's such a detail. It's not. I think that also makes it harder, because there is so much that we need to remember, and actually make sure that we do communicate that clearly to them, and that we do care, because we really do care about the personal of them and their lives as well in terms of that. That's
good. Okay, what about number 2 mistake, do you think?
Number 2 mistake, spending too much marketing money.
Marketing is in traditional marketing sense?
Traditional marketing. I think we invested a huge amount in magazine ads, and we probably didn't track the response rate as well as we could have. So in the first year, we obviously put a lot of marketing money into these different pockets. Like, it could have been this magazine and that magazine and these events. And only a year after that, I really realized that knowing your numbers is what it's all about. So I actually got really vigilant and saying, okay, we got all of these from that magazine, we got all of these from this magazine, and we got nothing from that. It's like, okay, what does that mean? So you sort of get to a point where you realize that this one's working, this one's not working. And I guess that's sort of the big trap that any owner-operator business you can fall into, because you get so busy with everything that you some of the details do get lost, unfortunately. And I think it's quite important that you do delegate and make sure that even if you feel like you're not going to get to it, make sure that someone else is getting to it, and make sure that they're actually tracking it. So I started delegating a lot, because unfortunately I have a do everything myself personality.
You definitely have to fight that one when you own your own business.
I know, and I soon realized that it's not going to work if I try and do that all by myself. I need to actually make sure that I use my team in the same response to that. And it also is the same as giving them the training opportunities and making sure that I actually do step away from the training, especially now being pregnant. It's quite good that I don't do the trainings, because the clients are getting really used to my staff, and that's what you really need, is they want to build relationship with those great people, and my staff's all great, they're all great girls, and that's what you really want, is that the clients build the relationships with them, and it's a good, hey Melissa, how's it going? But it's not a, oh, Melissa's not training me today, so that you don't want that disappointment there.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of a hard thing, especially now you're pregnant again. You're going to have to step away for some period of time. Exactly. And doing that when you are the focus of the business makes it very hard. Yeah. So coming back to the marketing aspect, okay, so that's your mistake at the beginning. What would you say you would do differently today with today's kind of marketing area? What would you do different today when you started your business if you were to start today?
If I were to start today, in terms of marketing, I think the big thing is just networking and relationship building. In New Zealand, that's a very powerful tool. Especially as a small business owner, I think a lot of small business get supported by other people because they know about you. But if they don't know about you, then they wouldn't know how to support you. So I think for me, just being out there networking is a lot more powerful than maybe having an ad in a magazine. So just that time investment, and I don't know, not everyone has that time to invest. And I think that's sort of the challenge, especially if you've got a family and things like that to happen. But maybe train your team and get some of your girls to go and do some of the networking on the behalf of the business, I think would be quite powerful as well. And then
but you've got to make the time to invest in yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
In the business.
And then just making sure that if you do invest in marketing activities, it could be like an ad in the next magazine or whatever, just making sure that you target the right groups, because a lot of the magazines are quite national, and because you're a small facility in Newmarket in Auckland, although Auckland has got the biggest readership of most of those magazines, you want to make sure that you really do be quite target specific. So for us, we found like the local little magazine they did was a lot more effective. It was called the Parnell Darling, or it was the Verve magazine. Those were a lot more powerful because they were actually landing in the hands of people living in the area. But I do find that for us as a facility, especially with all we've, as you said, Newmarket's become a little bit of a fitness hub, and when I chose Newmarket as a facility, I always knew that Newmarket was a go-to destination. People don't necessarily live and work in Newmarket to come to Newmarket, they actually come here to do things. So it just proven the point that is exactly what's happened. And I think the big thing with that is just to know that a lot of my clients don't actually live in the area. So actually I've got clients that drive to us from Albany because they're just so in love with the system and that's worth it for them. That once a week they do a 20-minute, 25-minute workout. They come all the way from Albany, but it takes, it's what they do. So you have to be... I guess
if we go off peak, hopefully, then it's not quite so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. It's just working out the times, I guess, around that. Yeah.
Well, living in Los Angeles, I can contest that the traffic is much better here than in Los Angeles. So.
I've heard the same thing. It was interesting enough.
Nothing, even for us,
even peak time, 5 o'clock, is not as bad as you think it is.
No. Going back to marketing. Now, you're doing fairly intensive advertising magazines by the sound of it, and more local.
Yeah.
How about online with social media or anything else online? I mean, you have your own website, which we'll put up on the link here.
Yes.
But besides that?
Yeah, so we did all the things that everyone else was doing. We started with Facebook page, we've got Twitter account, we had a localist page. Like, we did all of the things that you needed to be doing. I think at the end of the day, for being online, you need to be, make sure your content is things that people want to be reading, and being quiet. When we blog, we try and hit targets, or topics that doesn't necessarily have to do with fitness, but it's more just about general health. It just brings people to your page, and then hopefully they'll explore a little bit more. And I think it needs a lot of regular updating, so a lot of time needs to actually be spent. But being organic in your searching is so much more valuable than actually the ad. It's great doing Google ads, and they do definitely bring in a lot of new prospects. But I find that when you're actually organically bringing in people through, they're actually searching for personal trainer, blah, or looking for a quick workout, or you want those words to be the ones that come up up to surface and actually be organically found within your website. So I guess for me, it's just spending a lot of making sure that we actually regularly update the content, as well on the blog, as well as on the on the actual website itself.
Because I read through your blog too. I mean, some really good articles and a good variety of articles too. So I guess
and I tend to do whatever we do in print. I very often put onto our blog as well. And then you're just using Facebook more as a communication tools to the people that actually like our page. We've got a we've got a nice handful of people that like our Facebook page, but we haven't. I mean, we've signed up a handful of people, because of Facebook, but not necessarily. It's not been our biggest flood. So I always say to girls, we sort of spend time on Facebook, but make it the fun stuff. Let's talk about our new products, or let's show a photo of us training. Just make it a bit more of a community page rather than just a selling page. Because it doesn't necessarily work as a selling page, not for us.
So with the Facebook, how often do you update that?
We try once a week.
Once a week, okay.
Which is not huge. Twitter, we had an automatic Twitter. Whatever I put on Facebook went onto Twitter.
Mm-hmm. So once a week.
Once a week. But Twitter, I don't think Twitter actually took off in New Zealand.
No, Instagram is the way to go.
Yeah. So definitely. Instagram, I've recently started. So just after I had my second baby girl, I started an Instagram page specifically more for mums and being, fitness. So it's a little bit more about my life story and what I do with my toddler and how I actually try and, stay fit and strong. So Instagram has become that in terms of healthy eating, just tips and things like that. It's more just about me personally. But also within my business, I would be, when I'm in here, I will take a photo and go, hey, having a workout today. You're a busy mum, 20 minutes, 25 minutes once a week. You can do this, it's so achievable. But it's more just subtly bringing in my brand rather than proclaiming it
so
on Instagram.
What is your Instagram account?
So it's just Smit Millers. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just me. Yeah. But I've put it now. I've just started using it on our blogs and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
So I haven't.
I'll make sure I post that up too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But as I said, it's more just mummy's life rather than it is about the business itself. And it probably would be worth starting an Instagram page but you sort of get to the point where you're spending so much time on all of these different aspects, and you don't want to be copying people don't want to see the same things on Instagram that they see on Facebook. They want to, because I know I get quite frustrated if I go through my newsfeed and on Facebook and Instagram and I see the same things. I feel like I want to see different messages from the different components. So that's what I try and do, is I try and have these two personalities. It doesn't two personalities, but just two different types of portraying the same message.
Split personalities.
Yeah, definitely split personality. Maybe that's the problem. So it's more just a different way of conveying the same message, but in two different communities, I think, because I think your Instagram community is quite different to your Facebook community. Yeah. Where Facebook is now definitely I think the older people are on Facebook now. I don't want to say
grandmothers coming in there to see the grandchildren.
It's interesting. It is. It's exactly what it is. But they are the ones I want to talk to in any way, because mainly for us, our target market group is the 45 plus women. They're all either working, they have families, they're so busy, their bodies are changing, they're suddenly going, I'm eating the same, I'm walking the same, but I'm gaining weight. They don't understand what's going on the inside of their bodies. And we're there to tell them, hey, we know what's happening. It's because we haven't actually looked after your muscle tissue in the last few years. From the age of 30, we start losing muscle tissue due to aging. It's called sarcopenia, which is such a big term to use, but people get they feel quite relieved when they know that there's actually a reason for it, and it's not just them, going down downhill, but they're actually being able to do something about it. And then the solution, we can add a very easy solution, is that, hey, if you come in once a week for a strength training program, you will notice a difference, and you will actually start fitting back into those jeans that you want to fit back into. So that's an easy, that's sort of the message that we try and portray on Facebook, especially with that.
Okay, I guess that's probably why you have more success also with the local magazines, because the age group and the demographic you're working with is the 45 plus.
Isn't it interesting? It is exactly, because if you look at this sort of the catchment area that we have for Newmarket, it's very much your Aoraki, Remuera, Parnell, Mount Eden Terrace sort of areas, all and it is the older demographic that lives in these areas, because they're the ones that have been here for a while.
I don't think they like to be called older, but
I would
mature.
say the mature. I wouldn't say older. I would just say the more mature in terms of that. But it's not the young couples or families that are living in these areas. So they're definitely 45 plus, very successful, either being housemakers or either being career women, or they're the ones that live in these areas.
And to live in these areas too, you need to be more kind of financially stable.
Yes, so definitely more exactly. So for them, the prospects of a private room, which is exactly what we offer, is a private room, just you and the personal trainer, no one looking. There's not going to be loud music playing. It's you're going to feel really comfortable. There's no you're not going to walk into this big gym and have no idea what to do. We actually make sure that the machines are set up to your settings before you come. if you want a bit of music, we will play you some like classical music or whatever it is that your needs are.
Smit.
Yeah, or if it's Eminem, you know, if your playlist is at 6 o'clock in the morning, we can make it work.
Need something to wake up.
Wake up. But I guess it's just that personal relationship, and then, you know, it sort of becomes a routine. You know, every Monday at 10 o'clock, I come to my session, and it just starts becoming part of their routines and their lively. Yeah.
So, okay, the services you provide are either one-on-one or two-on-one.
Yes. Yes.
So, how do you find the two-on-one is more popular than the one-on-one?
I guess the two-on-one is quite popular because of the price point. Because all of a sudden you've got two girlfriends and they split and they go, it's half-half. So it makes a lot more sense in terms of that. You're still getting a huge amount of attention, which is a lot more than just supervision. It's really is, you know, me looking into you going, hey, drop your shoulders, lift your knees, do this, where, you know, looking, you know, if I'm standing over here looking at that machine, that I can see, I can simultaneously go, hey, you do that, you do that. It's quite easy to do a two-on-one training, and it's not, you maybe a little bit less attention than a one-on-one session, but you get a huge amount.
Basically half the price, like it's
no, so there's a little bit more because the wear and tear on machines.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just a little bit higher, but it's, I mean, it works out as little as $37 per person for a two-on-one training. And if you want to come in twice a week,
we're talking New Zealand dollars too.
Yeah, New Zealand dollars. So if you want to come in twice a week, we've actually also given you a bit of a reduction in that, so it can go down to $27. Per session, per person. So that gets really more cost effective for the two-on-one training. I find it's really good for couples as well, because it comes out of one budget. So you've got your husband and wife actually being able to do the same, you know, get that personal attention and actually get that exercise running. And yeah, it's just, I think for the market that works really well as a good product. Yeah. Okay. But we're very split, half. I would say half of our clients do prefer, and we've got a husband and wife that comes in. It's very funny. She actually sits outside and waits for him to finish his session, and then she comes in because she's like, I can't take his grunting. So they decided that they like doing the one-on-one session, and you know, they can get the reduced price if they do two-on-one, but that's what they want to do, and that's what works for them. Yeah. And I actually really respect that, because you know, if you feel like you need that one-on-one attention, then you know you are going to get it.
Plus it's very reasonable price.
Exactly. And I'm a very good person. I always give a little bit of discount, so that's good.
Okay, so when you first started, were you doing the one-on-one and two-on-one?
No. Okay, we only had the one-on-one product because that's what we were. That's what we saw as an example. So we didn't actually really think about that.
And I guess in New Zealand at the time, one-on-one was still kind of the thing.
Yeah, it was only personal trainers were only really coming to market. Like people didn't really like it. You have a personal trainer. Like it was quite special. And I don't know, it just hit me one night. I was lying in bed thinking, how can we actually service more people and actually get, and it just sort of came to me, and we introduced it probably about 4 years ago, and it's just been really successful since we've done it.
4 years into this out of 7, so 3 years in, you kind of introduced it to them. You're saying they have systems in place for the Medics gear. Did they all were just one-on-one, or were they also applying two-on-one as well?
No, not that I know of. Okay. Not so that I know of. Yeah, so so I sort of
updated to the model.
I sort of updated it with inside the system. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess when we come back to social media advertising too, I guess it comes down to creating a system there as well to make it more efficient. Otherwise, like you said, you can spend hours on social.
Yeah.
People think I spend hours on social. I spend about 10 minutes a day total.
Yeah. See, that's perfect.
Which, because everything's automated and everything else, it's very quick and kind of update and stuff. So that's a big benefit, is that you can set those systems up in your business, a different aspect of your business, so everything runs even when you're not here. Yeah,
it runs smoothly. I think that is what a business should be all about. It's about the systems. The more systems you've got in place, the more it takes off the actual paperwork time and this time. And they're doing the things that you don't want to be doing, and you're actually wasting precious time finding new clients and actually or servicing the current clients, where if you're having to worry about emails. So I think it's just getting into that point where you actually look or dig a bit deeper into your business and actually start putting things into place. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned emails. Do you do any email campaigning?
Yeah, we do. We just got a MailChimp account, and we've just got a few like automated emails that would go out for different. Like someone becomes a new client.
So how do you capture those emails? I mean, you've got your client, but you capture emails from your website as well?
Yep, we capture emails from our website, which will go into a different list. So I would just need to manage when the different ones get different emails. And we also, when clients sign up, they now sign up through an online form instead of actually doing a paper form. We always had a paper form, so that automatically feeds into MailChimp straight away. So it's just those little things that, you know, you think it's only 2 minutes, but it's been saving us a lot of 2 minutes. So that's been making
this time.
I think for small business, you're always quite reluctant to spend the money on automation and like systems, because, you know, it's $30 a year and $30 a year, and it sort of feels like it's, you know, like it's piling up to, you know, quite a big amount monthly. But in looking at how much hours we're saving, and we're actually able to do more client servicing, which is actually what we want to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when your clients first come in, do they go through any kind of assessment?
Absolutely, yeah. So we do what we call a 1-hour introduction session with them, and that's where we would sit down with them, and we look into their medical history, we find out what's up, and also then introduce the machines to them. The first session is quite a gentle session. It's more just hey, this is us. We're just introducing ourselves. And then we offer a second session at a discounted rate just to give them the full experience. So we do a 2 for $29, do 2 for 29 New Zealand dollars sessions, because I feel after 2 sessions you'll go, yeah, this is for me, or this isn't for me. People will very clearly know if they want to work to that level.
Because it is very different. So do you find that some people come in and it's like, okay, no.
Absolutely. Look, and I guess that's fair enough, and that's why we offer that come and tries, because it's quite hard to explain to, and even putting sometimes down on words how it works. It's really hard, because you have to really feel it to understand it and be on the machines and understand how they are so different to your normal gym equipment. I can
see that, and hopefully the video will also demonstrate some of that too.
Absolutely. Quite
but when they first come in, do you do any testing on them individually?
No, we don't do any. We don't do any physical. No, obviously we would ask.
We get the history, of course.
We get the history, and we would adjust accordingly to that. Let's say there's a rotation cuff issue, or a knee injury, or a back surgery, or any of those sort of things. But the machines are so wonderfully designed that we can adjust according to anything. And you would still be able to do most of it under normal circumstances. Unless there's a very big issue, we can work around that as well. We've also had amputees train with us. So everything can be adjusted. We also had a blind client, which was quite amazing experience for us, because for him it was really hard to go into the gym, but he felt like he needed, and this was quite the perfect setup for that. Because you're actually able to, so we can service any sort of problem or any sort of disability or anything that goes with that.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's have a look around, and then you can show us all the equipment and do some demonstrations.
Sounds perfect.
Okay.
Cool. Hi guys, welcome to 101 Fitness. So I'll just quickly show you around our facility a little bit and just show you what we've got available. So this is just our little reception area. Usually if you come in here, just have a sit down. We'll let you know when your sessions are ready and sort of have a bit of chat with you. This is our overflow room. So we've got another room. So we've got 2 training rooms at 101. So room 1 and room 2. And we'll let you know in which room you'll be training. So that usually happens that way. Through here, that's Beatrix, my site manager. We have also private changing rooms, which is through here. You can have a look. So there's lockers, you can have them locked up. There's towels in there.
Big lockers, huh?
Yeah, you can have your towels and everything in there sorted for you when you want to have a quick shower afterwards or beforehand. And then we've got bathrooms fully fitted out with hair dryers, GHDs, perfumes, everything that you need.
Okay, you provide everything in there.
Yeah, everything is sorted.
And towels all included?
Yeah, towels, and I'll make sure that we look after those.
Okay.
And then this is the main training room, which is training room number 1. So this is the equipment. This is us, my little baby.
So when you first started, you said you only had a few pieces, or did you have the whole
set?
No,
I had all of this.
You had all this. So this is all the original gear?
Yeah, so this is the original gear. So we've got 6 in this room and 6 in the other room. And this, at the end of it, will give you a full body workout if you go on all 6 of the equipment pieces. Okay.
Want to get Beatrix in here to do some demonstration?
We'll quickly do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so we're here with Beatrix, who's a site manager here at 101 Fitness. Tell us about your story, how you got involved with 101 Fitness and Melissa.
So interesting story. I was diagnosed with scoliosis. So scoliosis is a curvature of the spine. So it's genetic. So my dad has a little bit of it, and I've just, so I was diagnosed when I was 9. And so if you're looking at an x-ray of me right now, you'll be looking at an S rather than a straight line. And I couldn't like I was just in so much pain growing up and I didn't know what to do. We were prepared to go to Europe to find the right treatments for it, to America to get the best surgeon and all this stuff. And I thought, you know what, let's try something local. And then we looked around and then we met with a physio who had Medix machines, which are the machines that we have here. And I met up with him and he took me some trainings with the back machine and a few other different machines to strengthen my back. And what I found was that was the only thing that was giving me relief. That was strengthening my core, strengthening the muscles around the spine to really help my body.
Did you have pain though, with scoliosis?
Yes, I did.
Because it's not common with scoliosis to
No,
have pain.
Yes, I did have pain, unfortunately. And when I was 18, I ended up having to get the corrective surgery. So I've got 2 metal rods and 12 screws in my spine right now, and it's going to be permanent. And going to the gym was just really, really hard because there's so many machines there, and I was so scared that I'd injure my back. You know, with having metal and screws in your back, you always want to take the extra step of just being really cautious about doing everything. And so when I met Melissa, I was working at a chiropractic as a chiropractic assistant and administration work there. Melissa was telling me about these Medix machines, and I told her, oh my goodness, I know what you're talking about. That's what I did when I was younger. And then so I came here, started training on these machines, and I find that I can get a really good workout while still having all these metal rods in my spine and having to be really cautious with everything. So I really, really enjoyed how they were really careful, and the way that they plan how you do things. They got me the right settings, even though they have to like lift me up with like pillows, put me in just to make sure that I wasn't injuring my back. So they really looked after me. So I really enjoyed that, and I've just loved it ever since that. I thought I'd join the team.
So you kind of left the chiropractic office and then joined up here. How long have you been here?
So I have been here on and off probably about 3 years, and then this year I've just started full-time here. So on and off because I went overseas to work with disabled children in Thailand. Just voluntary work, so on and off that way.
Okay, great. Okay, let's get you changed and we'll take you through and see how you go on the machines.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So this is our very special machine. This is the machine that changed my life, and I would say your life a little bit as well, hey? So this is the lower back machine. This machine was specifically designed to actually isolate the lower lumbar area, and it looks like a bit of a contraption and you're sort of putting yourself into this machine, but what it does is it tries and enables the big muscle groups to actually do the work. So you're actually enabling the legs to help. You're trying to put them down. We also put a seatbelt on. This keeps the pelvis down, so you don't actually lift your pelvis up when you're trying to move backwards. And then I'll just quickly show. So Beatrix, I've got all of your notes, so we'll go through all of your machines. I'm just going to pop this down over here. Cool, so grab the handlebars for me. You're going to come all the way to the front. So moving all the way. I'm going to do that right now. Cool, and I might just tie this down a little bit more. Cool. Cool. Is that tight enough? You're feeling it?
Yeah.
It feels like there's a bit of pressure there?
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Now we're just going to slowly moving backwards. Cool. Keeping your shoulders in a relaxed neutral position. Cool. Just dropping your jaw and just breathing naturally. So nice and relaxed for you. Remember, it's this section right here that we're wanting to work. Good. That's excellent. Nice and deep breaths. Good. So we usually go for about 2 to 2.5 minutes on this machine. This is the one machine that we probably won't work to the point of failure, just purely because of the muscle group that we're targeting, and the muscles are actually quite weak in this area for most people to start with. So we want to give it a bit of a challenge, but we don't want to completely overdo it. So I always stopwatch and check that we do about 2 minutes on this machine. Nice and relaxed. Good, you're doing really well. Just keep your head nice and still. Good. How's that feeling for you? Good. The pressure's feeling fine?
Yeah.
Good. So I can tell when the body starts getting really tired, it actually starts activating through the glutes. So it's interesting because I could stand next to a client and I'll know when they've done their last repetition. When they start using the wrong muscles, that's how you know that they're actually not using the right muscles anymore. That's really good. So just relax through the legs. I know they want to help. Good. You've got one more repetition to go. That's really good. Also slowly back. Very good. And coming forward. Good. And you're done there. Just relax. I'll quickly take you out of the machine. Cool. You can take off the seatbelt. Awesome. So with our exercising, you wouldn't need to do any warm-up or cool-down. So warm-up, because it's such a slow movement, everything happens 8 to 12 seconds in a direction. You're actually warming up those muscles with the first couple of repetitions. So we don't actually do a warm-up or a specific cool-down as included in the program. So leg press for you, which will we are mainly focusing on everything lower body, so everything from the hips down. We've got quite a few different settings on this machine. For Beatrix with her back things or her back issues, this is probably the best setting for you. We could do it all the way up to an angle like this. This is if there's no issues and someone comes in here strong, fit as a fiddle. We probably wouldn't worry about, putting extra added pressure on the lower back. But in this case, I feel like this is the best position for you to do that in. So you can jump in there for me. Cool. And I also make notes about all of your set training, so I know exactly what would have happened in her last session, so I actually know how to update or change things if I needed to. This just helps, keeps the shoulders there. So you're going to pop your feet onto the platform for me. Quite close. Is Are you always this line? Yeah. Good. So what we want to do is get the knees, feet and shoulders all in one line, which they are, so that's really good. And forcing your legs forward by actually pushing out through the heels, slow as you can. Okay, good. So I'm going to count for you. We're going to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to slowly touch and don't force it forward. Focus on slow movement, keeping the knees in line with the shoulders, as you're slowly going to go forward. Good. It's the thighs. Think about as the power is moving through your legs, forcing it out through the heels and bringing it back slowly towards the body. Focus on your breathing and relaxing the shoulders. The upper body is not allowed to do anything, okay? Good. Focus on the legs doing all the work. Good. Slowly going forward. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. With this machine, we probably don't need to, we do about 5 to 8 repetitions because you're actually putting quite a high load as a start weight on it. So we actually start out quite high. You could see that the first one was really hard for her to get away. So we're actually challenging the muscles straight off the first repetition. Good. And slowly again, push it out, breathing. Remember, the more you breathe, the more oxygen goes to the mouth. Don't lock your knees, Good. And slowly bringing it back towards the chest. Good. Breathe and push. I've been told I sound like a midwife very often. Good. Touch and go. And again, slowly, keep that open. Good. Touch and go. That's a good. Good. Relax those arms. Good. Beatrice, you think you can do one more? Maybe. Can we try? Okay, I'll help you. I'll give you a little bit of a push. Getting you going. Slow. That's good. Excellent. Bring it back for me. Keep it controlled. That's it. All the way to the back. Keep it controlling. And you're done. Excellent job. Good. How are you feeling?
Good.
That was good. That was 2 minutes. Very good. And I've put the weights up a little bit from last time, so that's why it's feeling a bit harder today. Cool. My next 2 machines are mainly upper body workouts. So this one will be focusing on biceps and shoulders as well as the back. This one is very much focused on triceps. So we'll just put you on the tricep machine just for a quick few seconds. So with this one, you'll be sitting all the way to the back, popping your hands in there for me. Head resting against the back of the pillow. Good. And then just wanting you to slowly bring it forward towards the front. Good. So this one, you can see how our arms are shaking. That's such a good sign. That means we're targeting straight away. Perfect. So I want you to focus on opening the chest as you're coming back. Just deep breaths. That's it. You only need to do about 5, Beatrix. 5. So just keep that in mind. So that will keep you going. Good. That's it. Excellent. Keep it controlled. Awesome job. Good. And bring it back for me. Good. Nice and resisting. That's good. Good, how's that feeling? Okay, you don't feel any pressure anywhere. That's good, just in the arms. Good, so you should be feeling it in the back of the arm going back. That's it. So this part of your working, pushing out. So focus all the pressure through your palms. Coming back, I think you want to think front of the shoulder, deltoid, all of those pectoral muscles working.
Can definitely feel it.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, good. Cool, we've got 2 repetitions to go. Good, and go slowly. I'll give you a little bit of push. Don't use your force, just keep it slow as you can. Remember, the joints are not doing the work. Good, I'm bringing it back for me. That's a keep it controlled. Excellent job. Good, last one. It's not about the end, it's just about going as slow and controlled as you can. Slow and controlled as you can. Focus on your control, focus on your control. That's it, that's it, that's it. Awesome. And bringing it back, keep your head nice and relaxed. That's it. Good, now hold it there for me for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly bring it back. And you're done. Excellent. 1.5, so I'm happy with that. I also added weights last time, but that's good. So it means that anything less than 1.5 minutes means that it's too heavy, but I think that's a pretty good weight for you. Cool. And so this machine, anyone can do, even no matter what sort of issues or back or shoulder issues you've got, because you're in a seated position. This core is actually able to engage in a very safe manner. So what I want you to do is try and put your chin down into your belly button, but I want you to think you're going as a line down your body and trying to get to that core muscles. Just slowly squeezing forward. Good. So Beatrix has got a bit of her range of movements a bit shorter on this machine, but still with this machine we're able to adjust it. That's it, nice and relaxed there. No pressure through the legs. That's awesome. So touch and squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. I'm actually able to do this machine as well, even though being pregnant, which is really exciting because most women can't actually train their abdominals while they're pregnant. And this machine you can actually do up to about 30 weeks. And it's actually really good to have strong core muscles because they actually help with everything. There's no point in us doing a back machine and not balancing it out with a strong core. So we have to focus on strong core work. Good, that's really good. You're just getting a little bit warm. So what I would have done is put a little bit of a fan on you just to make sure you don't actually perspire. Good, touch and go. So we don't actually sweat during our workout. And the reason for that is because it's such a slow movement, controlled movement, you actually don't, we actually try and keep you cool. With sweat, the only reason people sweat is because their body temperatures are going higher than 37 degrees. So we try and keep you cool. And with that, you're actually able to use the energy within inside the muscle. And we've found that you can do about 2 to 3 repetitions more because you're not sweating. So your muscles are actually getting the benefits of that. So I would feel body temperature rising. Yours is not actually that bad. And then if they do, I would put a fan on them, which we've got, and we've got aircons as well. Good. Okay, we're going to do this one. I'm going to just keep it there, give you a little bit of pressure. Hold it there for me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back all the way. I want you to touch and slowly again squeeze it out. Focus on only the abs working, nothing else. Squeeze it in. Good, and bring it back for me. Good, you're going to do a little bit of resistance again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do one more. Good, and again, and go. Squeeze it out, relax through the shoulders. Good. Only this working, nothing else. Go, 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 go. You bring it back. That's excellent work. Good, hold it there for me. Last one, make it count. Make it count. Don't come back, don't come back. Keep those core muscles engaged. Nothing else working, nothing else working. That's it, that's it. All the way, all the way, all the way. And you're done. Take a deep breath. Good job. Sorted there. That's excellent. How are you feeling? Okay? That's really good. Yeah, so you did really well on that one, I think. The last machine is we call our yoga machine or just our relaxation machine. This machine was actually very much also designed with a medical intention of actually being able to strengthen and just give the neck muscles a little bit of a release. A lot of people that work behind computers, I think the biggest issue is that they tend to suffer from tension headaches and things, but it's all related to this big shoulder trapezius muscles of ours. So what we've done with this machine is actually bringing the body all the way to the back for me. So I want you to put your chin down on your chest, shortest reach. You want to really focus on getting a squeeze. So this just gives a very small stretch all the way through the back of the base of the neck, but it also engages these small muscles that sit right here under your chin. And we've had people that suffer from chronic migraines and things like that actually have huge reliefs because of this machine, because you're actually able to just open up this big area and actually give that all a lovely stretch. Good. And it's such a good way to end the exercise, because it's also just a very light weight that we do on this one, but also just allows the client to just focus 2 minutes on deep breathing and actually get that body, get the oxygen to move through the body after the intensity of the workout. Good. Slowly back for me, nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Keep your core nice and tight. Good. I can feel you pulling against me, that's awesome, eh? So I just help keep the shoulders back, because naturally our body wants to do that. It wants to go forward. So with me doing that, I'm just increasing the stretch in the back a little bit. Or you could get your client to just hold, or just at the back, just hold it there. Yeah, just hold the base of the machine if they don't like being touched. As many people do, which is fine. Good, slowly forward, don't arch your back. Good, you can do one more for me. Good. It's very rare instances that you aren't able to do this machine, but it would be if someone has suffered a really bad one-side injury. Let's say they've injured this shoulder and this side of their face really badly. I probably would recommend not doing it. Just merely, going all the way, because if your body's in spasm this way, there's no point in you trying to do a stretch. You need to actually get this opened up first and actually balance out the two shoulders before we actually stretch it that way. Cool. So that was it. Just a little bit of the machines, yeah.
Okay, so thanks for showing us around the place and everything you do here. We'll make sure that we link everything through for you.
Thank you very much.
Really enjoyed our time.
Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to show who we are and what we do and why we're a bit different than your normal training sessions.
Well, you talked about networking before, and this is what we're trying to do is get established a network through the whole fitness industry in New Zealand.
We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay,
Thanks,